Hello, it's Shahar. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I'm going to be talking about my July TBR. So I am put a lot of books on the list. Doubt I'll be able to read all of them because I haven't been able to read it a whole lot in a month as I used to. Been very tired from work. But I'm hoping to read at least a good portion of these, especially since they're all rereads and a good portion of them are more on the lighter side, I feel like. I mean, I have a couple of thicker books in here, but yeah, so these are the books I plan to read in July. It is a reread month, apparently. I've been wanting to reread a lot of my books I haven't read in a while since I got them out of storage last year, and I'm finally trying to reread some books that I absolutely love. There will also be a book haul on my channel soon. I'm waiting for a couple more books that I purchased to come, and then I plan to do a book haul. So if you guys are excited for that, because it's been a minute since I've done a book haul, because it's been a minute I've been able to really buy books. So yeah. Okay. So this is Blue Star's edition. I started rereading it a bit ago, but I got kind of bored. I read it once, and the super editions, for the most part, are not as interesting, but they still are, and I still want to read them. They're not as good as the main series, though. But, and I think it depends on the book. Like, some of the prequel ones, I'm not interested in, but I have some high hopes for some of the later ones, like the one that has to do with Crowfeather's trial. I'm really excited for. I did really like the 5 Stars Quest. The one about Sky Clan was good, I remember. I haven't read all of them yet. I think there's one about Leaf Pool, or is that the novella that has to do with Leaf Pool? I think that might be a novella. I haven't read the novellas yet. And then I know there's one about Squirrel Flight that I want to read because I like Squirrel Flight, and same with Brambleclaw. But yeah, so I'm trying to reread the Warrior books I have read so that I can continue where I haven't. And I'm trying. I read the first 2 of the actual series, the 6 books in The Prophecy Begins, and then the 6 books in The New Prophecy. And I want to read all the super editions that goes before The Prophecy Begins, or in between The Prophecy Begins and The New Prophecy, or in between The New Prophecy and The Power of 3, so that I could be completely caught up to start The Power of 3. So that's my plan, and I'm reading Blue Star's Prophecy to get through that. And then I have The Isle of the Lost. There's 4 books. I grabbed just the series, the ones that are in series at least. Whether or not, even if I do start it, whether or not I actually finish the series this month is another thing. But since, like I said, these aren't that big books, and they're rereads, and rereads typically can be a little bit faster than your first time reading it because you already know what's going on. At least in my experience. And I reread a lot. But yeah, so there's 4 books. Technically, there's 5 books in Isle of the Lost, and I have read the 5th book. I just don't own it yet. And there's supposed to be more in the series coming out, I think. Because the 5th one has to do with Red and Wonderland, kind of the new story arc with the new set of Descendants movies. So yeah. So technically I have read the 5th book once, but I do not own it. I read it at the library, I think. So yeah. But I do really enjoy the series, so I'm hoping to reread it. Oh. Then I have my Guardian series. I don't know if any of you have watched the animated movie Rise of the Guardians. I absolutely love that movie, and there's actually books about it for those of you that did not know. Why is this all messed up? Okay, fixed it. There's 5 of them, 1 for each Guardian. The first one is about North, then Bunny, then Tooth, then Sandy, then Jack. So Santa, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Sandman, then Jack Frost. The one about Jack is a lot bigger than all the others. Surprisingly, even though I feel like because it shouldn't be, probably because, the movies do focus on him more than anyone else. So I don't know why it is the biggest one. But yeah, these books don't actually take that long to read. But my favorite, personally, is Sandy, and maybe it is slight bias because Sandy is my favorite character, and I'm obsessed with him. He is so powerful, he's so sassy, he's so funny, and he also has a good heart, and he is just so very powerful. Like, I love him. And And it was also really interesting to learn his story more than anyone else because he was first of all, he's the oldest guardian. So these books go in the order of not who's the oldest, but who's became a guardian first. So he was technically the fourth one to become a guardian, which is why he's the fourth book. But he's actually the oldest of the guardians, and he's also the only one that was not human originally. So I just felt like his story was so much more interesting, just because it was interesting to see how that all unfolded and like how he was chosen and why and what he was before, and it was just really interesting. Wee. Wee. Okay. And then I have the Effigies trilogy, a trilogy that I really like. There's a lot of twists in this one. There's at least 2 twists I can think of off the top of my head that still has me just mind blown, because there's no way in a million years I would have seen that coming. And yeah, but it's really interesting. It's about the 4 elements. The effigies. There's 4 people, one that each controls the elements, and they're supposed to save the world from phantoms. They go off fighting. They have to be trained, obviously. But when one of them dies, that power goes into another one, a new person, the next chosen, which kind of gives you off Buffy Vampire Slayer vibes. Like once one of the Slayers dies, it goes to the Slayer abilities go to the next one. People have to find out who it is and start their training. And you can also this one gives off a little bit Avatar: Last Airbender elements, not just because of the elements, but because that you can do something called scrying, where you can focus and go to the past lives because you're connected to the previous effigies. So like the main character, her name's Maya, isn't it? I want to say it's Maya, but I'm wrong. It's been a minute since I reread the series. Yes, I was right. When Maya and yeah, okay. So it starts out because Maya is the newest fire effigy, and because the previous effigy died not that long ago. And so I know at one point, because like her death and how she died is a mystery, I think, or maybe not a mystery, they just don't know the truth about it. I don't remember which one, but she starts to talk to her to try to figure out what actually happened. And yeah, so but she admired the effigies, but she didn't actually want to become one, and her entire life changes. She has to go away, she has to be trained, she has to start fighting phantoms, she falls in love, she has some dramatic stuff with this, I think it was a house fire that she was in that killed her family, including her twin sister. Then there was so she's been through some stuff already. Like I said, there's some really good twists that you don't see too, and so it's just really good. It's called the Effigies trilogy. Book 1 is Fate and Flames. Book 2 is Siege of Shadow. Book 3 is Legacy of Light. So highly recommend these books. Ugh. And then my last 2 books, they're a bit on the shorter side. These are books that I only read once, and I don't know if I beta read them. I might have beta read them. Or at least read them on KU before owning the copies. So yeah. And I'm excited to read the physical copies for the first time and tab them. So this is Oathkeeper, on the other hand, by Ellie Lieberman. It was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. The magic system was really cool, the world building, and the characters, all I loved. And then the other one, Water's Edge, also by Ellie Lieberman, I am obsessed with. It is so good. I'm so excited for the second book in Uncanny Encounters. That's the series name. But this series is going to be one of those that you can read out of order. It's about Gretchen, who goes and she is a paranormal investigator. So she investigates, but they're all kind of like standalones. Like you can read them out of order. They all have the same main character, Gretchen. I think her best friend's in all of them because she helps her. But they're not necessarily connected where you have to read this one and then the next one. But I am excited for the next one. But this one is really good, and I definitely highly recommend it. There were so many lines and quotes that I read that I was obsessed with when reading, and it's such a good and timely book. And I know that the story of the ghost and how she died was really sad, but definitely highly recommend this book. Definitely check it out. So that is all. That is what I plan to read in July. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment what you plan to read this month. And I'll share the guys below in the comments. Until next time.